Rob Wilkins, our Vice President of Affiliate Relations, HBCU Initiatives and Promotions. Congratulations to you all.
Rob, you the man.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Cheryl.
Absolutely.
Rob.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
And the fact that we support internet radio stations. That is the new wave.
Yes,
internet.
it is.
But we also support terrestrial radio stations, low power stations.
We love you all.
That's right.
That's
AM,
what I usually
FM.
say.
That's right. Satellite.
So does Tristan.
Stick with the theme, boys and girls. And now that we have 349 affiliates, we want everybody that listens to Charlotte Underwood Radio to go out and be a blessing. Others, God bless you. We'll holler at you tomorrow. If the Lord say the same. If he does not, and it's your last day on earth, we hope that when you see the Master, he says, servant, well done. Because the life you've lived, work you've done, people you've asked for forgiveness when you trespassed against them. This is Charlotte Underwood Radio. 349 affiliates strong with the reach of a bunch of people. Be blessed. Be easy.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a -65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're
then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like -65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they're also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
White keys only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rub. Let's do it.
If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head and I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Working mode, tell them where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell them where the cash. You playing for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crack. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about about it. Things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. Why you crazy about it? Saying whatever. You shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride. You know I ride. And you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit for real. When it's me and Murray, just us, we chill. I'm in a rush to get off to get you. Never ever had to floss to get you. Pay the dues that it cost to kiss you. Rug burns on the carpet with you.
Oh yeah. Come on, dog. Throw this in there. Had to dedicate this to the homie out of New Orleans. Break. Said she wanna bump that. You wanna do it? Go ahead, do it.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, what's up, family? Welcome to the Black by the Man radio show. I'm your boy, Brother Mike. I will be your host today, along with my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice. How you doing today, Miss Janice?
Very good.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So welcome everybody to another exciting episode of the Black by the Man radio show. So before we get into the show, I'm going to try to send out some invites so you guys can hang out with us for a couple hours today. And meanwhile, what we got going on in current events, Miss Janice?
Well, I want to talk about the Leaving Neverland documentary.
Okay, yeah, because I'm really not up on that. What we got going on with that?
I mean, I just don't understand why 10 years after Michael Jackson's death that we have still child abuse allegations coming up.
That is interesting. That is interesting.
I mean, when he was alive, all these allegations were, what was that? He was acquitted of all of them. And then we even had the ones who came forward that said they lied. And then the one father that killed himself because he lied.
Wow.
But yet, we still have this documentary about Michael Jackson and his child abuse.
So what do you think that's about?
That's what I want. That's what I wanted to ask you this morning.
Oh, okay.
What do you think that's about?
I'll give my take on it.
I just want to really know, like, why now? Like, why now?
What I have noticed is that when it comes to black celebrities, Michael Jackson, Prince, Bill Cosby, just to name a few, it seems to be an element in place. There are forces at work that do not want these black men having a living legacy. You know, they're killing their legacy. One of the people who brought this to my attention was Felicia Rashad when they was doing it with Bill Cosby. She was like, you guys don't understand. They are trying to ruin his legacy. See, so Michael Jackson, Prince, Bill Cosby, people of this nature, they want to ruin their legacy. It's not often that black men get out of these situations of being rich and famous and popular with their legacy intact. So in my opinion, it's just another attempt by the powers that be, particular white supremacists, who are attempting to ruin the legacy of Michael Jackson. Now, what's true and what's not true, I don't know. I don't know. But like you said, the man's been dead for 10 years. So why all of a sudden now? Are they trying to give support and try to show a pattern that this is what black men do? Because you got the R. Kelly thing going on, and then you got the Bill Cosby thing before that. You know, we have the Jussie Smollett thing going on. They're trying to put out a certain image of black men. But I do know a part of that agenda is to ruin the legacy of these black men.
So in them ruining the legacy, like why? My thing is, why do they have to, you know, always bring a black woman in to help them with this assignment?
Absolutely.
What was Oprah's role in this? Like, why Oprah?
Well, you know, understand who Oprah is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to slander Oprah, but I'm just going to say Oprah may not be this black queen that we think she is. You know what I mean? Like, she may be batting for the other team. You know what I mean? A lot of people have put that forward over the years. You know, but again, I don't want to slander Oprah. I'm just simply throwing out possibilities. What better way to convince the world than to have it be brought forward by someone who is powerful enough to convince the world? You know, as they say, you hear people say, you know, they're playing chess, we're playing checkers. Okay, so if this is true, consider Oprah to be one of the major chess moves, right? As they say, they don't need to control millions of people. They need to control one person who influences and controls millions of people. So Oprah would be that person.
So then my next question would be, did Oprah forcefully have to do this, or
yeah, that's
was
a good
she
question.
like a willing participant?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
You know, I don't think it's forced like we think, but I think when you are part of a certain elite society, when it's time for you to step up to the plate, they want you to do things that may go against the grain of who you are, go against your people, so forth and so on. I think it's secretly between them that they know, you know, you have a choice, but you don't have a choice. Because if you choose incorrectly, then you could suffer the consequences or the wrath of these white supremacists who control everything.
So this kind of comes down to, remember when we was doing constructive or destructive, when we did the money over integrity.
Right.
When we were speaking about, you know, you can have all the money in the world, but at the end of the day, like, still can't write no laws. So if somebody tell you have to do something, you can be a billionaire and you still have to do it.
You still have to do it. You are still under the control of other people. There are people who sign your checks. And then there's this thing called the black card. See, again, don't quote me. This is information that I've gotten from other sources. Could be true, could be not true, but I'll put it out there. Okay, so if you're familiar with the black card, okay, so a lot of celebrities who we think are walking around with stacks of millions of dollars, they really don't have it like that. What they do have is a black card. Okay, and that black card is an unlimited American Express. You know, you can put millions of dollars on it. So if this is the case and they really don't have tangible assets, you can imagine those who issued the black card have the power to cut it off.
Wow.
Cut that card off. Now what?
Wow.
Right? Remember, your riches are just numbers on a computer. Right? Nobody literally has $1 billion in cash. Nobody has $180 million in cash sitting in the garage somewhere. It's numbers on the computer. They can change those numbers. Instantly, you can go from being $110 billion in the bank to being $36. All it takes is that's it. your whole riches is gone. So, you know, I believe people do get put in situations where their back is against the wall and they have to make a decision, knowing that people may hate them, slander them, but, you know, they're at risk of losing everything. That's what I've heard before.
Right.
That's the best way I can say it.
All right, so with this being said, let's move on to the R. Kelly interview then.
Oh, shucks. Let's
move on to R. Kelly. Now, the question I had for that one is, like, why when somebody, you know, have to be an example for what's going on in the world, why do it always have to be a black man?
Again, it goes back to ruining legacies. You know, remember, there's a certain image that the American society in particular has spent a lot of time, money, and propaganda towards promoting an image of the black man as well as the black woman. Okay, so over time, they have to continue to keep giving examples to point to say, see, this is how they get down. You know, if you remember on a previous show, I said that R. Kelly was a part of an elite society. Within this elite society, pedophilia is normal. Okay? It's normal. And this is why R. Kelly has gotten away with it over the years. But at this point, they're now taking it and using it against. Okay, Dick Gregory is who first turned me on to these things, watching his videos on YouTube. Dick Gregory explains how when they put you in a part of all this, you become a part of this elite society, and they allow you to do certain things that you shouldn't do. But they also keep record of it. So at any given point, if they want to bring it out and use it against you, they can. It's pretty much what they're doing with R. Kelly. Again, I don't know what R. Kelly has done and hasn't done. I only know what they've shown us on television, what they've reported through the media. And they lie all the time. So I can't say what R. Kelly did. What I will say is if these alleged charges are true, then yes, R. Kelly deserves to be punished.
Right, but is one, you know, is one black man, is that enough justification for all the people who's done it or who's still doing it now?
Absolutely not.
Is taking down one black man enough justification for us to just say, okay, we're going to get R. Kelly for this and let everybody else go free and we're good with just getting R. Kelly?
Yeah, it's not justification, but it's a high probability. Because remember I stated before, if you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. As much as we love R. Kelly and we have supported R. Kelly, at the end of the day, if you really know what goes on in this society, you know that R. Kelly got in bed with some people he shouldn't have gotten in bed with. You know, so you cannot win when you deal with evil. So in the end, that evil's going to come back and bite you in the butt. And I think that's what's going on with R. Kelly.
So also with that being said, then at the end of the day, then don't we know that, like, we would never know exactly what happens. It's always, when they paint the picture, they're always going to paint the picture the way they want us to see it.
Absolutely. History is written by the victor.
So.
And nobody writes a book against themselves. So as long as, you know, the white supremacists continue to control the media, control television, control what we read, what we see, what we hear, they're going to always paint the picture of them in light and us in darkness. So whether R. Kelly is guilty or not, R. Kelly is a part of an elite society who does this all the time. That's why people are bringing up references of Hugh Hefner, Elvis Presley. All these people are pedophiles. This pedophilia thing is a Hollywood thing. It's been going on for a very, very long time.
See, my thing is, I don't really care if they bring up all the other celebrities who's done what R. Kelly's done.
Right.
But I'm just concerned, like, why we don't hear more about the parents in all of these situations. Are they, you know, let off, like...
They shouldn't be.
Are they not held accountable for anything?
Well, you know, it's interesting because when you watch the interview, you see R. Kelly talking about that these parents blackmailed him. And then you also saw the interview with the girls, where the girls were saying the same thing. Our parents are blackmailing him, so forth and so on. I honestly believe that it's a little bit of truth in all that. I believe that it's truth in R. Kelly being a pedophile. I believe there's truth in the parents trying to blackmail him. I believe it's truth in the parents knew what they were turning their daughters over to. I believe it's truth in the girls saying they really wanted to stay there. It's little bits of truth everywhere. But then it's also mixed in with lies to sensationalize it and make him look even worse than what he was.
You know what I find ironic? You know how they are always quick to use, especially with R. Kelly in this case, brainwash. They always say, you know, R. Kelly done brainwash these girls and brainwash. That's a great word.
It is a great word, and I think one of the reasons that they often use it, you have to pay attention to words that people use. They use the word brainwashing when it comes to R. Kelly because that's what they do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I was trying to get to.
Yes.
Brainwash, really?
Like, where does this word keep coming from?
We're using brainwashing with R. Kelly, really?
Where's this word keep coming from?
The person who came up with brainwashed and started brainwashing folks. I mean, I'm just saying, that's just... At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
I'll move on to Jesse.
Juicy.
With his 16 felony counts. What was the 16? Why is that?
I'm not sure why they had 16 counts on him.
I'm sorry, I couldn't even get it out. Like, why? Like, what's the 16 felony account about?
I don't know what the counts are, but I am familiar with how the law works. So what I know is this. When they are out to get you, right, they're going to stack counts up against you. Because through those 16 counts, there's one or two of them that they're going to key in on. They only need a conviction on those ones. You know what I mean? That one or this one. They know that will carry the most time. But they stack up all the other ones to make themselves look good. You see, so that way when they go to court, and then you got 16 felony counts, and then they end up dropping, you know, 14 of the 16. But then the two that they kept got you 100,000 years in jail, right? But they're going to go to the public and say, listen, his court case, we were very lenient. He had 16 counts, and we threw out 14 of them. Yeah, because they knew the 2 that they wanted to focus on that was going to get him 1,000 years in jail. So that's why they stack them up against you. They do the same thing to black people in the streets when they catch charges for other reasons. They stack counts up against you, knowing the 2 that they want to focus on that they need to stick. But it makes them appear to be lenient when they throw out the other ones. They never intended to go after the other ones.
Yeah, because I know they said there's a lot of shadiness going on with the Jesse case because of the fact that, you know, they tried to say, you know, he did this because of his salary issues with Empire.
Right.
Which his lawyer is saying, you know, not one person investigated, you know, anybody from Empire about no salary. So they never even talked to nobody on the Empire whole team.
Okay.
And then the $3,500 check that they had from the 2 guys was for training. When the check was written out, it specifically had on that memo line that it was for training, or whatever kind of training they was going to, you know, supply him with. So the whole $3,500 check, when they was trying to make that as though, you know, it was payment, you know, for them doing that to me, that's a lot.
Oh, I'm sure. One thing I want everybody to know about the media, the mainstream media that is that majority of the things that they tell you are lies. Okay? I don't care what it's from. I don't care if it's CNN, Fox News, or whatever. See, they play this good guy, bad guy game, you know, so you look at one like it's worse than the other, when in all reality, they're all lying about everything. But as you can see, this conversation with these current events is going to get heated up a little bit. So stay with us. We're going to take our first break. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show with the host, Brother Mike, co-host, the lovely Miss Janice. And we'll tell you what the show's actually going to be about today. And we get to it because the current events are just so good. So stay with us. We'll be back.
With caution, tired of lane, I'm exhausted. Popping Zani's and sipping out the faucet. I'm confused, don't know what I'm doing. Wait, what I'm doing? Got me going where the f I'm going. Out of space where I'm going. Wait, where I'm going? Wait, where I'm going? Out of space where I'm going. Out of space where I'm going. I'll be up.
Now she be haunting my dreams. Wearing my clear on my sleeve. I'm not who you need me to be.
Indigo sound for the team. Royalty sound for the team. Hippie vibing for the team. I need space, girl, I need to get out, yeah. Slow my motions, leaning, I've been out, yeah. Never worry about me, I've been chilling. Can't do this no more, I'm in my feeling. Can't put your business all out in the open. Can't fix a heart that's already been broken. You changed my ways, I'm already hopeless. I take my time, I figure it out, girl, you know you are.
The moment my son saw.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the It Is What It Is radio show.
Viral. Make sure y'all share us. So,
please.
Miss Entice.
All right,
Miss
I got
Vicious.
Okay.
Vicious.
Favorite place to have sex outside the bedroom?
Anywhere.
Oh, that's not an answer.
That's not an answer?
Specific. Outside of the bedroom.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artists, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue, and she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not.
All right, so we are back. Welcome back to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. If you missed the first segment, we're actually talking about current events, but let me just plug this real quick. Today's show is actually going to be on the Nutritarian diet. I spoke about the Nutritarian diet on our last show, if we get around to it. So we on these current events, and we're talking about R. Kelly. So I want to read a comment here from Miss Lolita Walker. She says, I do believe brainwashing is a truism in the R. Kelly case. Very similar to a cult or in staying with someone who preys on your weakness, digs deep to break you down, then work hard to rebuild you the way they desire, moving things in the direction you desire. So I'm going to give you one bell on that because that is an awesome comment. I believe that has been going on since the days of slavery. That's what they did with us. They broke us down and then rebuilt us the way they wanted us to be. So she makes a lot of sense.
Right, and I agree with that. But I have to say, the parents have these children for the first how many years of the kid's life.
Right.
The parents have them. R. Kelly don't have them until a certain age.
Absolutely.
So what they are taught from birth up until 15, 16, it should be something along the lines where, I mean, R. Kelly comes in at 16 and start brainwashing them from there. Like they learned something from their childhood, right?
Get that money. Get that money, right? I think the first thing was the parents turned them over to R. Kelly.
Right.
So that's the first issue. You know what I mean? So the parents need to be held accountable for that alone right then and there.
So I'm just saying, did R. Kelly have to do much with brainwashing these girls once he got them?
I would assume that once he got a hold of them, there was some brainwashing involved to keep them once they realized that he, you know, and again, I'm basing this off what I've seen, VH1, you know, I'm sure it was dollars involved and, you know, making them understand, I guess, his way of living, you know, what he expects out of his girls. According to the VH1 documentary, like they had to, you know, ask to use the restroom and, you know, things of that nature. It was some weird stuff going on. Again, if the documentary's true, because media is what it is, so I can't really say what's what. So I'd imagine he would have had to do some type of brainwashing, you know, maybe to produce a Stockholm Syndrome effect in these young ladies.
Yeah,
but the video I seen with the young girls speaking, they were going hard for R. Kelly, and they was crapping on their parents. and saying our parents just want money. They've been saying this, and so when you mix that in with R. Kelly said that during the interview.
And with them going hard against their parents like that,
right?
It just shows me that the parents had a lot to do. The parents had more to do with it than what we think.
They did, and as I stated earlier, the situation is as simple as this, Mr. R. Kelly. You shouldn't have got involved with the things those people told you that you could have done. You are a black man. I don't care how much they give you money, fortune, and fame. Don't you ever forget your position within this world and within this American society. At any given point, they will pull the rug from underneath you and put you in a world of mess. So he laid down with them dogs, and he got up with fleas.
But when he, when R. Kelly went into, the business first too, he was young too.
He was. So but he knew better than to be with young girls.
The money came after. The money came after him too. Yeah, they all did. They all knew better. But with their life, the lifestyle that they live,
right?
They are. I mean, I won't even get into complete, detail of the whole situation. But I'm saying the parents have a lot to do with what's the word?
Coercing.
Yes, their child into that direction as well.
Absolutely.
As far as with the money too.
And anything that your parents approve, you're going to think is okay.
They want their child to be famous because in the back of their mind, it's going to help them get to the money quicker as well.
Well, that's the part I found to be interesting. Thank you, Mel. That a lot of the, so-called children were supposed to be on this path to singing. Have any of them actually ever cut a track or a demo? Have we heard anyone over the 20 years of R. Kelly being with these young ladies?
Didn't the last two girls we heard, they said they ain't never even want to be a singer.
We just want to be with R. Kelly.
We just want the money. I mean.
Oh, man.
It just never, but I'm just saying, like, with the brainwashing, see, brainwashing goes further back than just catching you at 15 and 16 to start brainwashing you. That brainwashing goes back to elementary school.
Okay.
When a person first starts getting brainwashed. It goes back to somebody's childhood, deep from the beginning of the childhood.
Right.
Now, I still understand that, women can be controlled by the men, especially young girls. But I'm just saying, the way you're brought up, it has something to do with it.
I think so. Like I said, with parents giving the approval. So if your parents approve for you to go off and be with some grown man, psychologically, that's telling the kids whatever they do, my mom, my dad's okay with it. They know I'm sexually active, and they're letting me go with a grown man who's known for wanting to be sexually active with young girls. So yeah, I hold them accountable as well.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I mean, because if you think back, like even if we go back to our younger days, when we were 15, 16, and we've had to make a whole lot of choices during those ages.
Right.
Like as young women, we had to make choices as well. But your parents already instilled something in you to help you with those decisions and those choices.
Right.
So it's got to be something there by the time they're 15, 16, and 17 to help them make these decisions.
The parents definitely co-sign. But we up on another break. Stay with us. It's the Black by the Man radio show. We will be back. Yeah, the parents are guilty.
This unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new. Take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, it's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, we already yours. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that you can't do whatever you like. Keep your hands off of me. Oh no, she couldn't. Keep your hands off of me. So let's slide, you and me alone, to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got that leg bringing up the car. You told me you kiss, told me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, I wanna take you, but we gotta groove so we can lose the crowd. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true, yeah, you cool, make a move, don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough. Show me what you do. I know she could.
Driving has a rhythm all its own.
In no way, shape, or form am I ignoring what R. Kelly did.
Absolutely not.
No, like, no way, shape, or form.
Right.
But I'm just saying there has to be some type of intentional purpose right now, because I just find it hard to believe that, 20 years ago, all of these videos that are surfacing now couldn't surface back then.
Right.
So, like, why now? Like, what's going on now that...
And if R. Kelly's up on charges, it should be other people up on charges.
So,
because even if everything they said about R. Kelly was true, there are other people involved.
Yeah,
that means the parents knew about it. That means the help in R. Kelly's house knew about it. R. Kelly's entourage knew about it.
Right.
Should be a whole lot of people up on some charges.
That's my point. Like, R. Kelly was one man. Like, he just couldn't, like, do all of this alone. Like, there are other people that have to be held accountable for all of this as well.
Right.
But still, with the whole R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Jesse, I just still find the timing a little suspect, because all of this started right at the end of what, Black History Month? So right at the conclusion of Black History Month, we went straight into all of this.
Right, yeah.
So now, whatever positive info we did just take in from February, like, we losing sight of all of it now, because we done been brainwashed.
I think people are now starting to see
other things
the attack that's been on black people forever. Whether it's R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Jussie Smollett, whoever. Thanks to social media, people are starting to wake up and see that there are evil forces in place that are designed to attack black people at every angle. So again, I don't know about the R. Kelly situation. I'll read a comment here though. Shout out to Miss D. Brown. Thanks for joining us again, Miss Brown.
Hi, Miss D. Brown.
She says, I believe their home life was already messy. The one family member said their daughter just got out of the hospital from trying to kill herself over her boyfriend. They took her to R. Kelly's concert to cheer her up, and she met him that night. See, so that's what I mean,
That's what I...
And I mean, I get the parents' perspective of maybe thinking, let her daughter meet a celebrity, cheer her up. I just don't know if R. Kelly would have been my choice, being that he already had previous accusations.
Already had. And then, there was one parent talking about, she didn't even want to look at R. Kelly, the man that was accused of all of those things, and he was acquitted. She just wanted to look at R. Kelly, the man. Well, you can't just look at R. Kelly, the man. You have to look at R. Kelly's background and history when it comes to your child, especially your young daughter. So
absolutely,
I don't understand that statement when you're saying you just wanted to look at R. Kelly, the man. I would have had to look at R. Kelly, pedophile.
I thought it was interesting doing the interview. I didn't see anyone else point this out, but I thought it was interesting that R. Kelly was shouting, "I gave you 30 years of my life." I took a little offense to that. I did. Like, you didn't give me 30 years of your life. We gave you 30 years of our money.
30 years of our
money. Like, what are you talking about? You gave us 30 years. You existed for 30 years because of us. Like, he spoke in the manner like he did us a favor. We did you a favor, R. Kelly, by liking your music, supporting you, and buying your music. How dare you get up and say, I gave you guys 30 years of my life?
Can I tell you something?
No, you didn't.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I've never, ever, not even to this day, bought a R. Kelly CD, album, tape, nothing. Like, I have never.
Yeah, me either. I'm guilty.
Supported R. Kelly.
But you know, I guess this is what he meant when he said he ain't seen nothing wrong.
Even 20 years ago, when we should have been going hard at this like we are now, to get to do whatever we needed to do with R. Kelly, we should have handled it then.
Right. I seen a video of a black queen, and I had an appreciation for what she was saying. So I'm gonna try to summarize what she was saying in her video about the R. Kelly thing. She was basically saying that, and these are her words, right? I'm paraphrasing. She was basically saying that we as black people have to stop giving a pass to other black people who do horrific things, in this case with little girls, all because they're not prosecuting the white people who have done it. You know, she's like, what does that have to do with our view on R. Kelly? So you're saying we shouldn't care about these little girls being raped, molested by R. Kelly, all because he's black, and we know that these are the white supremacists purposely attacking R. Kelly. So instead, we want to give him a pass because he's black, and black men already deal with enough, and they're not prosecuting the white men who are doing this. And I kind of get her point. You know what I mean? Like, true indeed, they may not be prosecuting these white men who have done it. And R. Kelly is definitely a part of an elite society where those white men who told him he can do that. But does that have an effect on us still saying we still have to hold him accountable? You get what I mean?
Right, and I agree with that. But
that's what she said.
If we did hold him accountable, then why didn't we hold him accountable 20 years ago when we found this out?
And that's what she was saying.
Why did we leave R. Kelly out here for 20 more years to do this to, I don't know how many more of our girls? So even now, when we're sitting up here saying, like, you know, we need to do this and do this now. All I'm saying is, where was all this fire and energy 20 years ago when we found this information out? We been knew R. Kelly was doing this to the little girls. Right. Like, where was all of our passion then? Like, shouldn't we have went after R. Kelly back then? Right. Like we are right now? And that's the point that she was making. She was like, why do black people not have this same passion for these other pedophiles? Because they're not doing it, say it's a white pedophile, right? They're not doing it to just white girls. You know what I mean? Like, white men love having little black girls up underneath them. And we leave them out here to continue to do this. Right. Like, we don't do anything to hold nobody accountable for coming after our little girls. Right. But we will, I mean, and, you know, I'm not, you know, trying to be smart or funny or anything. But, you know, we'll all get on social media and talk about and go back and forth with it. But truly, like, what exactly are we doing to protect our girls? Like I said, we leave all these pedophiles out here and let them continue to do this over and over and over again. Right. Like I'm saying, we knew this years ago about R. Kelly, and we could have went after R. Kelly then, and we could have been destroyed his career and stopped him, because we all know it's our dollars that continue to put money in R. Kelly's pocket. True. So why would we support him still through all of this back then? True. You know, and now that, you know, white supremacy is saying we need to come get R. Kelly, now we listen. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Always waiting on Massa to direct us. So that's my whole problem with it. It's not, you know, that what R. Kelly did wasn't wrong and he should pay. He should definitely pay. If he did it. That's the thing. Throw him in jail and I want to make sure I speak correctly, because I don't know what R. Kelly did and didn't do. I'm just saying, like, I just know the shit looks suspect. back when they wanted to make more money off of R. Kelly 20 years ago, when they were still getting paid from R. Kelly, they kept all of this under wraps and just kept it going, kept it going, kept it going. And now all of a sudden, it's like, let's break R. Kelly. So that's the only thing I just have. So let's read a few comments here. So Miss Lisha Gibson says, where were the parents? That's my only question. Great question. And that's why we believe the parents should be going through some questioning as well, because they were cohorts in this. Yes. Miss D. Brown says he and other black men in Hollywood was on borrowed time. Bing! That's my whole point. See, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. You think that you can do
what your white counterparts can do, but you can't, not in their society.
Right.
So over time, all you're doing is giving them ammo to use you at some point or crush you, right? Be Exposed Radio says, this is replying to Elisha Gibson, says, I agree, it sounds really funny to me that all of these families are speaking out now. I agree with that as well. See, that's a little suspect too. Where's this all been at?
Right.
Ms. Elisha Gibson says, why do we feel like it's our responsibility to be judge and jury? True, true. And you know what, Elisha? We tend to only get that way with us.
That's it.
We don't tend to become judge and jury when it's other people. But when it comes to our people, we are harsh.
That's the only time. That's the only time. That's the only time.
We become judge and jury. So thank you everyone for commenting. And yeah, that's just so true. We become very, very harsh. All right, so look, R. Kelly, you have taken up enough of my time today, young man. What are we even talking about today? What's next? We got any more current events? Damn you, R. Kelly.
Oh, God.
Anything else left in current events?
No.
Okay, all right. So let's get into our plugs. First of all, you guys know we need your help, so make sure you check out patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD. Become a patron, have access to our patron-only feed. You can donate as little as $1 per month. And we like to say, if you find value in the Black by the Man brand, supporting group economics, or the Black by the Man radio show, we ask that you become a patron at patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD and donate at least $1 per month. We could use you guys' help. And also up to the plate, if anyone can see, I am rocking our latest apparel. So we now have Black by the Man PK polo shirts. And this is done deliberately because we want to provide our people with a polo shirt that represents your lifestyle. As I said before, you know, when you look at, I'll take Ralph Lauren for instance. We all love polo. We've loved it over the years. But the reality is that Ralph Lauren created the polo brand to represent his lifestyle, which was a WASP lifestyle. That's white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. He wanted to show how they dress. You know, they wear the polos, they flip the collar up, they wear button-up shirts with button-down collars, with striped patterns. This is why polo has this traditional type look to it. It's representing the WASP lifestyle. So when we touched it, we made it hot, right? It's a side effect for them. They get billions of dollars off of it. So I'm saying with a BBD polo, you guys can see it, this was created for our lifestyle. So you can wear this polo and know that this was created for your people, by your people. We got them on retail pre-order right now at blackbytheman.com for $39.99. We kept them at an affordable price. No one should have to pay $89, $90, $100 for a polo shirt. It's of the same quality as a Ralph Lauren polo, but this one is about you. So this is the new Black by the Man PK polo. Check them out at blackbytheman.com, and you can rock a logo that means something for you. Black is for the people. Buy is how we practice group economics. Demand is for change. So I had to get that in there. So you guys make sure you check it out. We're taking pre-orders right now. Okay.
I do have one more current event.
Okay, one more current event. Let's do this.
Just the Higher Black Baltimore Expo we did on Saturday.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we got to talk about the event we just did on Saturday. Yeah. So Saturday, we did an event called Higher Black Baltimore. It was at BCCC College. It was all about trying to bring out employers as well as other vendors to allow youth as well as adults opportunities with jobs where black people can hire you and show you that you can have a career in certain jobs. Shout out to the one brother who was the Chick-fil-A franchiser. Yes. We had a brother in there that owned the Chick-fil-A. He bought free chicken for everybody. He supported Black by the Man, bought a couple hoodies and t-shirts. We thank you, my brother. I'm sorry I can't think of your name right now off the top, but great guy. So yeah, that was a wonderful event. It felt good to be a part of something that dealt with, again, trying to help the black community. Yes. You know, a wise man once said, you're either part of the problem or part of the solution. Yes. So between BBD and BPM, Black Professional Men, we choose to try to be a part of the solution.
Yes.
So that was an awesome event. Did you enjoy yourself?
I had a great time.
Go on to our Facebook page at blackbytheman.com. You can check out the pictures we had from our table. Again, you guys know we're not this super large company, but we put forth the effort, you know, to be a part of things. All right. Yes. Be Exposed Radio says he owns the Chick-fil-A at the Harbor. That's the one he owns. Yes. So make sure you guys patronize the Chick-fil-A downtown at the Harbor because that is owned by a brother, and shout out to him. Yes, what I thought was awesome about that is I seen two young black men speaking with him, and They were trying to set up for jobs.
Okay.
So afterwards, I spoke with them in the hallway
Mhm.
and asked them what they were doing. They were like, yeah, we're trying to get a job, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So I asked them, I said, let me ask you young men something. How did it feel to stand before a black man who owns a Chick-fil-A?
Right.
They was just like, man, yo, that was dope, yo, that was dope. I was like, that's what I wanted to hear. Because, you know, that needs to be seen.
Right.
That was something our youth doesn't get to see.
Yes.
They stood before a black man who, that guy's probably in his early, mid-30s.
Yes.
Like, he wasn't some senior citizen.
At all.
You know, so nice young man, and here he is, the owner of Chick-fil-A. So I thought that was a beautiful thing. So shout out to BPM for hosting the event for Hire Black Baltimore. Now, if you want to catch up with Black by Demand and the BBD team, we will be at the Motor House on March 23rd for the Eat Black Baltimore. This is going to be an awesome event. We are going to be showcasing black chefs. So make sure you come out, come by the table, check us out, take some pics with us. We love to see you guys. But more importantly, enjoy the Eat Black Baltimore event. It's going to be some good food there with some black chefs. It's going to be awesome. So you guys make sure you check that out as well. We love it. Okay, so Miss D. Brown, you are absolutely right. Today's show is about nutrition. Today we saving lives, you know. That R. Kelly thing, sidebar this for a little bit. So today we're going to be talking about the Nutritarian diet. I've mentioned before on previous shows about the Nutritarian diet. This was a diet created by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. And when I say diet, we're not referring to an actual diet for you losing weight, so forth and so on. We mean diet as in the food that you eat. So a Nutritarian diet deals with you changing the food that you eat, not a fad diet designed to get you to lose weight. You know, diet means more than one thing.
Yes.
So a Nutritarian diet. Now, the reason why I wanted to tap on this, because we had people in the audience that didn't quite know what a Nutritarian diet was when I would describe it. And the Nutritarian diet is life-saving. It's a life-saving diet. So we feel it's very important because as a community of people, we are the sickest community. Please make sure you do the research on that. We suffer from cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, hypertension, kidney disease, diabetes, and stroke. Majority of the time when I hear about someone passing, whether it's my family or someone else's family, if it's a black person, it deals with cardiovascular disease and stroke. So the Nutritarian diet is what we need to avoid all of this. So stay with us. We up on another break, and when we come back, we are diving into the Nutritarian diet, and I'm going to give you guys a good basic outline of it and then teach you about a book you can purchase to learn more about it. So stay with us. It's the Black by the Man radio show, and we are talking Nutritarian diet. We'll be back.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, okay, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. You know, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
Oh, these are her exact words. Allegedly.
I made this up. But
allegedly.
I made it all up. But there was a rumor that they were beefing. But Tyler confirms that they don't have any issues. So it says it was recently reported on the rumors that was swirling that the twosome were on the outs over constructive criticism over Perry's show. Well, I got some constructive criticism, and we can be on the outs, Tyler, and I don't give a damn because I'm going to make a promo out of this anyway and share it to your page. I need the scenes on Have and Have-Nots to be like 5% shorter, each one. I want you to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, because this is supposed to be a soap opera. No one's dialogue on The Young and the Restless is like this. You don't have to talk about the random plant in the corner for 25 minutes on one damn scene.
They talk about random plants.
It was a blood stain on the floor for 5 episodes. I can't take it. We need to pick this up. I'm sorry. I love the Have and the Have-Nots, and I continue to watch it in its 5th season. But I get so mad when I can go get myself a glass of water and come back, and he had just started the next sentence in his first paragraph. I can't stand it.
They just want to get the point across.
It's not but you don't get the point for 4 episodes. It's too much. So, now according to ET Online reports, Tyler Perry has a pre-cut and dried response to a pretty cut and dry response to the rumors about him and Oprah. Here's what he says. It's completely false.
What was that? That was your Tyler Perry impression? Oh God! What?
That was my Medea voice.
Oh.
Nothing is accurate in this article except for mine and Oprah's names. That's what he said. I mean, you see what I mean? You gotta stick around. I mean, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I mean, they pay us to do this, so we go off every week. Right here with
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste. I've been bad, burned, then fucked over. But remain strong through the Passover. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? Make a man to me to let the next man take advantage of me. But that's gonna come, no can I see. Bring with it, now without it, you'll see. I beat the haters, they smart with it. That's why they bucking for the elevator. But I can't.
All right, so welcome back, everybody, to the Black by the Man radio show. So today's show, we are talking about the Nutritarian diet, which was established by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. And you can also get elaborate information about the Nutritarian diet by looking up a brother on YouTube called the Minister of Wellness, Mr. Nathaniel Jordan. So he got and based his information off of Dr. Joel Fuhrman. So I have plugged the Minister of Wellness. So today I'm going to bring you a little bit of Dr. Fuhrman himself. One of the easy books you can get, and we'll go over a little bit of information out of this. This is Dr. Fuhrman's Nutritarian Handbook. And again, BBD, we don't get paid for this, but our goal is to help our people and save some lives, because the Nutritarian diet is what's needed to prevent you from getting sick, prevent you from suffering from disease, and prevent you from having your life come to an end prematurely. And being that as a group of people, black people are the sickest amongst the nation, I feel it's my obligation as I learn things to bring it forth through the BBD radio show so we can teach our people how to be healthy. So first, let's talk about obesity, because we're not really that familiar with obesity. Okay. We think we are, but majority of the American nation, black and white, are obese. So it's the obesity epidemic. Nutritionally caused disease is now the largest cause of death throughout the world, and for the first time globally, the number of overweight individuals rivals the number of those who are underweight. In recent years, the growth of processed foods, convenient foods, and fast foods has supplied our relatively sedimentary society with a diet of high-calorie foods with few nutrients. So that's your first clue. We're not getting in enough nutrients, right? Obesity is a major risk factor associated with the highly prevalent and serious diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, which happens to be the top 3 that we die from. Heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. The diet style that creates these disease fuels out of control sickness and medical expenses. So, health complications that you will face from being overweight and being obese, right, would be increased overall mortality, adult onset diabetes, hypertension, degenerative arthritis, coronary artery disease, obstructive sleep apnea, gallstones, fatty infiltration of the liver, restrictive lung disease, and of course cancer. So all of these things are associated with being overweight and being obese.
And if you think about it, we probably could pick one or two out of what you just read that we suffer with.
We all have one of those or know someone who suffers from one of those. So it's coming from the food that we eat. It's very important that we reach an understanding in our education that the sickness that we all suffer from is not coming from what the doctors are telling you. Doctors like to tell black people it's coming from hereditary,
Right.
you inherited this, your grand folks, so forth and so on. It is a lie. It's not true. What you did inherit that caused your sickness was the same eating habits. Okay, we all pretty much eat the same food. So if you got heart attacks in your family and then other people have heart attacks, it's because you eat the same food. It's not because y'all share the same blood. Has nothing to do with blood. The ones who sit at the top are well aware of this, and it starts as children. We are not aware of how we are setting our children up for failure by feeding them sugar products. So I'm talking everything from candy to Kool-Aid to donuts to chips and snacks, all a part of the standard American diet, right? The acronym for that is SAD, Standard American Diet. It's not an accident that acronym is SAD. If you know how these people operate, you'll know that's not an accident. So because of that diet, we all come up under the same system of thinking it's okay to feed this to our children. Okay, sugar by itself alone is responsible for degenerating brain cells. Okay, so if you look at children whose minds are still being developed, the more we allow them to eat candy, donuts, Kool-Aid, sodas, chips, it is actually giving them brain damage. Now, how do we know this? Well, because they take clinical studies and they'll try to say that the black children don't do as well on the test as the white children. But what they're not telling is in the white neighborhoods, their convenience stores, these places, they're not being subjected to the processed foods and the candies that our children are. So they're setting our children up by feeding them garbage. That's what they keep in black neighborhoods. The bodegas, the convenience stores, the 7-Elevens, right, the sub shops, all feeding you garbage.
Yes.
So this makes the black kids have, you know, brain issues without us really knowing it.
Yes.
It prevents them from focusing, prevents them from performing, prevents them from being able to do critical thinking.
Yes.
The white kids are not necessarily experiencing that. Now, the reason why they figured out that this was true is because in the areas where the white kids were being exposed to this, you know, because all white people ain't rich, right? So the white kids who were growing up in the areas with the black kids eating these foods experienced the same degenerative brain functions as the black kids. So we knew it was coming from the food.
Right.
So that's very important for us to have that understanding. We got to start learning about sugar, salt, and the things that we eat. Most of the items that we eat are processed foods. So a Nutritarian diet is a little bit different from that. You know, it's a little bit different. But I want everyone to know that these diseases that we suffer from, it's coming because the processed foods, the sugar, the salt, turns our system acidic. Your system should be alkaline. An acidic body is the playground and birthplace of disease. An alkaline body does not allow a disease to form. So this is where they're tricking us at. So we are up on another break, but stay with us. It's the Black by the Man radio show, and we're going to touch on the Nutritarian diet and let you know exactly what it is. So we'll be back after this break. BBD Radio, y'all.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, the sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good.
They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals is they're like one of the worst teams in the Major League Baseball right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer have the top record. It belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland, we got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and they...
Hey, this is Mark, just a bit outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya.
Jacqueline. Yes, Mom? I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what?
What? Hold
What'd you say?
All right, are we on?
This weekend.
Are we on like popcorn?
Unplug.
Yes.
All
Take
right.
your family to the
So welcome back, everybody, to the Back Bottom Man Radio Show. Today we are talking the Nutritarian diet.
Trees, paths,
so if you missed it, we went over complications.
Getting closer to nature
of obesity
can get you closer
so if you're
to your
overweight,
family.
To
find a forest nearest you, go to
increased overall mortality, adult onset diabetes,
and the Ad Council.
hypertension, degenerative arthritis, coronary artery disease, which is heart attack, obstructive sleep apnea. A lot of people suffer from sleep apnea. Gallstone, fatty infiltration of the liver, restrictive lung disease, and cancer. So, what is becoming a nutritarian? Let's talk about it. The fundamentals of this eating style are to increase high nutrient foods in your diet and to crowd out unhealthful, low nutrient foods. What does it mean to crowd out? It means that as you eat more delicious, highly nutrient foods, you will be reducing your desire for fatty, processed, unhealthy products. When you change the foods you eat to better meet your nutrient needs, you feel better, and it eventually becomes your preferred way of eating. To accomplish this, you will be presented with scientific, logical information that explains the connection between food and your weight and health. If you need to lose weight, this information will help you shed pounds naturally and easily, merely as a side effect of eating healthy. So, I want to focus in on that because that's what I mentioned before.
Okay.
We don't need to focus on losing weight.
Right.
We need to focus on eating healthy. If you eat healthy, the side effect is that your body will begin to regulate itself.
Right.
And it's going to bring its weight down to the weight that it knows it needs to be. The body's a magnificent piece of work created by the Most High God Himself. All we have to do is take care of this temple. See, when you're not taught that your body is a temple, you don't understand what it's like to dump trash into your temple. We're not taught that our bodies are a temple. This is a temple. Okay, so the Most High God is just saying, I want you to take care of it.
Yes.
The powers that be have set us up with a diet that they know is not going to take care of our temple.
Right.
But what it will do is get us sick and help them make money in the medical field.
Yes.
So we have to face that harsh reality that doctors are not here to save you. They're here to treat your symptoms and continue the medical industry making money.
Yes.
This is why, and you can check the facts on this, doctors are not taught anything about nutrition in school. Now, what sense does that make?
Right.
How could you get a medical degree as a doctor and not have been taught anything on nutrition? that shows you that they're not designing doctors to really teach people how to be healthy.
Yeah, because
they're designing them to deal with your symptoms.
And remember, it's always the doctors who sends you to a nutritionist.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll read a comment here from Miss Talisha Johnson. She says most of the private schools, they don't have snacks like other schools, so the kids can't purchase chips, cookies, junk, etc. during their lunch. See, that's what I mean. We don't understand how much they're controlling, making sure that you end up getting sick. Private schools, she's basically saying, has better choices for their lunch. Public school, they're giving you chips, cookies, you know, fruity drinks with sugar in them, so forth and so on. It's keeping everybody sick. So what is a Nutritarian? Okay, a Nutritarian is when you learn and practice this eating lifestyle. You can proudly call yourself a Nutritarian. A Nutritarian is someone who strives to complete and learn to prefer the foods that are nutritious in comparison to the foods that are not nutritious. So, a Nutritarian eats mainly high nutrient plant foods, vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, and seeds. Remember, the standard American diet has us eating proteins such as meat and eggs for majority of our eatings, right? So most people eat meat or some type of protein 3 times a day, when in all reality, you only need to eat it once or twice a week. Now look how extreme that is.
Yes.
3 times a day, 7 days a week. So that's at least 21 instances in 1 week where you've eaten meat and protein. And really, you only needed it, and you didn't even need it at all.
Right.
But if you wanted to indulge, you should only indulge in proteins 1 or 2 times a week. Now, I know that seems like crazy for most people because the way we grow up, we eat meat with everything. We got bacon and sausage with breakfast. We got lunch meats and turkeys with lunch. And then we eat chickens with dinner. You get what I mean? Fish, you know, whatever. But the reality is we eat that way because that's how they taught us to eat.
Yeah.
And that's killing us.
Yeah, because when you was reading the list, when you was going over the beans, the seeds, the vegetables, and fruits, I'm sitting over here like, ugh.
Right. And you know what that was. You know that wasn't nothing but the G-bombs. You know, that was the G-bombs. For those who are not familiar with the G-bombs, G-bombs is the acronym that we should be living by if you want to have a Nutritarian diet.
Right.
So it stands for greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds and nuts. G-bombs. These are the foods that we have to eat every single day if you don't want to be sick.
Right.
These are the exact foods we don't eat.
Every single day.
Every single day. These foods are not even accessible to us every day, you know, unless you're getting a pizza with mushrooms on it. But if you get a pizza, then you're eating dairy, and dairy's horrible for you, right? And I'm addicted like everybody else. I'm not a master of this. I just simply share the information, right? But dairy's very addictive, and so is white enriched bleached flour.
Right.
Now that one set me back a little bit because between white breads and white rice, I didn't think they were that bad. But according to Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and these are his words, and I quote, anything that's white in food is bad for you. He says, the whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead. That's his words. I agree. I agree. So he says, eat few, if any, animal products, 1 or 2 servings per week at the most, and choose healthier options in this food group. Eat almost non-foods that are completely empty of nutrients or toxic for the body, such as sugar sweeteners, white flour, processed food, and fast foods. I want to talk about fast foods. I think we all kind of know what processed foods are.
Yes.
We may think we know what fast foods are, but we're thinking of fast food chains.
Yes.
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Sonic, whatever.
Yes.
Fast foods are not just those.
Okay.
Fast foods are also foods that are prepared with oil.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're frying chicken at home, you think you're not eating fast food. You're eating fast food because you're frying it in oil. The oil's bad for you.
Yes.
And then, of course, what they're doing to the chickens today is ridiculous.
Oh, gosh.
Like if you ever want to watch a documentary on chickens, you probably won't eat chicken no more after that.
Right.
They're doing some heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. Be Exposed Radio says anything that has been enriched or modified are bad for us. Absolutely. So a Nutritarian diet is the exact opposite of that. We're supposed to be eating what's known as electric foods.
Okay.
Electric foods are alkaline foods. These are foods that naturally grow on earth from the Most High God that haven't been processed through anything. So let's look at G-bombs and see if they're electric foods.
Right.
Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds. These are all items that do not need to be altered in any way, shape, or form. You can eat them as they are. I will say this about mushrooms. Most vegetables are better eaten raw. Mushrooms are not. Mushrooms do have a mild carcinogen on them. It's a protection mechanism for when they're growing, for animals to try to eat them.
Right.
That's why some mushrooms are poisonous. That's why some mushrooms will get you high. People eat mushrooms to get high, right? See, that's the carcinogen on it. So with mushrooms, you do want to cook those. They are healthier cooked. Once a mushroom is put to heat, the carcinogen burns off within 10 seconds.
Okay.
So mushrooms is one of the few that's actually better cooked. Most are better for you if they are raw. So again, the Nutritarian diet is about having an eating lifestyle that stays away from processed foods, dairy. It limits your intake of proteins, such as chicken, fish, things of that nature. Stay away from enriched bleached flour. That's a tough one.
Yes.
Because white bread is in everything pretty much.
Right.
You know, so that means that even pizza is not that good for you.
Right.
It's not good for you at all. It's got a lot of things in it. It's got processed butter in it. It's got salt. It's got a processed cheese, you know, which is, you know, fermented milk. You know, it's actually bad for you. Now, I'm not telling people not to eat pizza. I'm just simply telling you the reality of these things that we're eating that is keeping us sick. You know, it is a lifestyle change. It takes time. You know, this is not going to happen overnight. But we as a people need to learn these things.
Yes.
Because this is what's going to stop us from being sick. Now, one of the problems is we don't like to change. You know, we like to say, oh, I've been eating this for 20, 30 years. You know, I'm not going to stop. That's fine. But you're going to have to keep that same attitude when you're dying. Because when you dying and you laying in the hospital or you sick, you know, and they want to put you on a bunch of stuff, that's when you're going to realize maybe I should have took this serious. So we're giving out information to try to prevent you from getting to that point.
And I do have to say, like, in the beginning, it is a little difficult.
Right.
But as you live and you incorporate these things, it becomes easier.
It does become easier.
Because ever since we started, you know, learning about health on the show, like, I've changed quite a few things.
Okay.
You know, that's different. That's
All
very
right,
difficult.
all right now.
It's very difficult for me.
Okay.
The biggest thing I changed was when I went to only eating every 4 hours. I eat every 4 hours, and then I only eat certain things. At that 4 hour mark, I'm really watching what I'm eating at this point. When you do that, you're gonna eat differently anyway, because you're not going to wait the whole 4 hours to eat a slice of greasy pizza.
Right.
At this point, now you're going to want some sort of healthy meal that's going to, you know, you're going to make sure, you know, hold you over for the next 4 hours, especially for a person like me.
Okay, well that's good.
So
you're making the attempt.
You're going to incorporate a good salad in there because it's going to help, you know, with your filling, and you're going to get your G-bombs through that salad, and so forth and so on. You're going to continue to incorporate each day you go by. Like I said in the beginning, it's a little difficult, but the more you do it, when you decide you want to live,
that's the key part. You have to develop an understanding that this is life or death. This is just not some stuff that you just blow off and go on about your business. You may be around for another 20 years, but you're going to be sick. You're going to get sick. This stuff is guaranteed to get you sick, the foods that we eat. As far as you were speaking about, you know, when you eat every few hours or 4 hours, Dr. Fuhrman says that because of the standard American diet, we really don't even know what true hunger is. He said true hunger is in your throat and mouth.
Okay.
It's not in your stomach.
Okay.
He said when your stomach is growling from you being hungry, it's because it wants the poisons that you normally dump into it. So he said any food that you eat that makes you feel good is bad for you.
Right.
Because healthy food, when you eat it, is not going to make you feel like anything. You're just going to feel like you ate. But foods that are bad for you, because your body's been taking in these toxins and these poisons, they're going to make you feel good. Now, I can testify to that because I feel real good after I eat a donut.
Right.
I feel real good about that.
Even with that going every 4 hours for me, like depending on whatever meal I pick in that 4 hours, like I don't even drink like juice or anything. Like I make sure I drink water with it because I'm trying to keep my calories and intake just as low as possible.
Yeah, well, it's all about micronutrients, and the foods that we eat are nutrient deficient. Processed foods are nutrient deficient. White enriched flour foods are nutrient deficient. Proteins like meat and chicken that have been fried, they're nutrient deficient. These foods are not fueling your body at all. We simply think that they are.
And it helps you cut out candy, cookies, and chips. It helps you cut out all those in-between snacks.
Food addiction.
Yeah, you know how you normally in 2 hours you might grab a bag of chips or something. Like when them 4 hours roll around, like I'm not about to take that meal up with no cookies or chips. I need something to eat. And it's strictly about food at this point. So it's going to help you with all of those little snacks you're
Absolutely.
used to.
Absolutely.
You're going to start putting them to the side, and you're not even going to need them during the day like you used to.
It's a process.
So it's going to help.
You have to do the research, and we're helping you get started with that. And you have to start the process of saving your life, because this is what this is about. Because when you save your life, you're going to save also your children's lives. You might even save some family members' lives. But stay with us. We're up on our next break. We'll be back. We're talking the Nutritarian Diet and Black Bottom Man Radio Show.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously, because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, and I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like, you know,
The Artist Exchange Radio.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'ma show these niggas what to do with one of your beats, man.
You're now listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this file flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business-minded individuals and just people in general. I'm doing
clean right now. Eventually, I'll get to black. I'm not at black yet. Not there yet.
back. All right, then. All right, so welcome back, everyone. We are talking Nutritarian diet, and we were going over exactly what it is. So for those who missed it, Nutritarian diet lifestyle is when you learn to practice eating differently. And then you can call yourself a Nutritarian, which is someone who strives to learn to prefer foods that are nutrient dense and good for the body. Eat mainly high nutrient natural plant foods. Vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, and seeds that would fit in with the G-bombs. Eat few, if any, animal products, 1 or 2 servings per week at the most, and choose healthier options within the food group. What that means is, if you're going to eat a protein, he's saying choose healthier options within this food group. So if you're going to eat it, you don't want it to be pork. Okay, that's not the healthiest option of the meats. None of them are healthy, but the pork seems to have a lane all on its own, right? Eat almost no foods that are completely empty of nutrients or toxic for the body, such as sugar sweeteners, white flour, processed foods, and fast foods. So here's the trick, right?
Okay.
One of the things that we have to get used to is when you switch over and try to eat healthier, this is going to require you doing a little research, right? And learning how to cook differently. Because we traditionally cook a certain way. You know, like if I go over to a black person or a black family's house, it's not too much that's going to be on the dinner menu that I'm going to be shocked at. Right? We're pretty familiar with the type of foods that we eat.
Yes.
Those are the exact foods that are killing us. You know, there was a post on Facebook that I found to be interesting. It was a picture of a black funeral. And at the funeral, the people were eating. And it said, only at a black funeral do they serve the same food that put the person in the casket that they there for the funeral. And I just thought that was such a powerful post because it's true. Because we don't have an understanding that the food is what's making us sick. And it's people who depend on us not to know that. So the Black Body Band radio show is here to throw a monkey wrench in that. We want to teach you the real deal so we can all stay healthy together.
Well, can I say the Black by Demand radio show threw a monkey wrench in my 4 hours?
Yes, because it's not based on time frames.
Right.
You're only supposed to eat when you're hungry.
Right.
And Dr. Fuhrman said true hunger you feel in your throat, not in your stomach. So I'm going to flash his book again. This is his Nutritarian handbook. This is just one of the books you can get to learn about the Nutritarian diet. If you want your first introduction, you can start with this one. It's called Eat to Live. Now, what's important about this book is, even in the title, he's teaching you something different. Eat to live. Whether we know it or not, we live to eat. We do not eat to live. We live to eat. And that is what's killing us. Because when you eat to live, you make the bulk of your eating G-bombs, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. We don't hardly eat any of that.
Right.
You know, I had to learn to start eating that. So it requires a little bit of research, a little bit of reading. It's worth it because when you develop new eating habits, you're going to teach this to your children or your life partner, husband, wife, cousins, family, friends, co-workers, whoever else's life you decide you want to save.
Right.
Because this is life-saving. You know, this isn't some information that you use to go lose weight. We are literally giving you the guidelines for how to save your life and become a healthier person. So you don't have to face sickness. And in the process, we're learning too. We're learning too. It's a process. So I want us to live healthy lives. I don't want us to keep being the ones who carry the load of sickness.
Yes.
Black people carry the load of sickness. We all got people within our families, if not ourselves, on blood pressure pills, diabetes. This person had a stroke. He's had a heart attack. She had an aneurysm. To know that this is all coming from food, like, it's such an easy fix. It just requires effort.
Yes.
So the Nutritarian diet is the best fix. You can go vegan. You can go vegetarian. Those are good, right? But even as a vegetarian, vegetarians still eat certain proteins.
Right.
Fish and eggs. The fish is coming from polluted waters. It's filled with mercury. So fish is no longer good for us like we think. A lot of black people I talk to say, well, I only eat fish and chicken. It's still not working. It's still going to kill you. It still has to be put in the category of just 1 or 2 servings per week. You know, pescatarian, I believe, is what they call it. Fish eaters, right?
Okay.
You still end up with certain diseases. Of course, chicken. You already know the deal with that.
Yes.
Vegan. Vegan is great, but even within vegan, there are still problems because a vegan can still eat enriched white flour. A vegan will eat processed foods without knowing it.
Yes.
The cheese, vegan cheese is processed. It's basically oil. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the Nutritarian way of living is canceling out all that. You stick with the G-bombs. You stick with the live foods. So that way when you do have your moments where you eat something you normally wouldn't eat, it won't have that effect because you're not dumping this in your body all the time.
Yes.
Kind of just treating yourself. I'll read a couple comments. Tony May says, we must exercise too. Absolutely. Absolutely. This show, we're focusing on the food because exercise, we in general get a fair amount walking around every day. We could do better, but you could exercise from here to the sun, you know, to the cows come home, because 80% of health comes from the diet. So exercise, we definitely need, my brother, but that only represents 20%.
Right.
The things that we are suffering from as a people is not coming from lack of exercise. It's coming from the foods we eat. Tony says, ain't nothing good for you anymore. Shaking my head. True, brother. Ring the bell for you on that. You're absolutely right. It's so much that's not good for us no more. They made it that way. They surround us with foods that they know are not healthy for us. Ms. D. Brown says, if we want to stop what they call generational curses with wealth, this is a great opportunity to live longer. Absolutely. That's what we're putting it into. We're putting it into the lies that the medical community has brought forward about black people. And we're going to teach you how to get yourself healthy. And this way you can pass it on to your kids. So that it won't be a generational curse. It'll be a generational health.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're healthy. Your kids is healthy. Because your children are going to eat what you eat. I don't care if they're grown and still in your house. It's all on what you bring into your home. That's what they are going to eat. So if you're not bringing nothing in there good, they're going to continue to eat that crap. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give you a top 25 foods that you can eat that stay within the Nutritarian lifestyle that'll keep you healthy. So here's the top 25. Collard greens. Any type of green. Collard greens, mustard greens, or turnip greens. Thumbs up. All good. Kale. Watercress. Swiss chard. Bok choy. You know I'm on my bok choy kick. I put bok choy in my raw salads. I'm going to tell you about that. Cabbage, all varieties. Spinach, arugula. Lettuce. Boston, romaine, and green leaf. No iceberg. That's very important. No iceberg lettuce. You need romaine, spring mix, or green leaf. No iceberg. Now, with that being said, when you get food from places, whether you're getting a cheesesteak, or whether you're getting a Big Mac, a Whopper, it is iceberg lettuce that's on there. And they know that iceberg lettuce is the worst lettuce of all of them. It's not even healthy for you.
What's even bad now is even when you order in your salads now, they're doing it with iceberg lettuce.
Right.
Before they used to use spring mix.
Right.
Different kales. Now it's iceberg lettuce. It's horrible.
It is. And they're doing it on purpose. So lettuce is Boston romaine, green leaf, spring mix, Brussels sprouts, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, bell peppers of all colors, red, green, yellow, orange, mushrooms, of course, tomatoes, berries of all varieties, asparagus, pomegranates, grapes, cantaloupe, onion, beans of all variety, seeds, flax, hemp, chia, sesame, pumpkin, and sunflower. It's an awesome list. All right, so I'll read a couple comments. So Tony May says most of us are raised up on that food. Absolutely, my brother. And that's what we are trying to dispel. We're trying to put it out there so we can learn, and those who still have small children can start changing the diets and change us being raised on these foods because we're being raised to be sick. Ms. Talisha Johnson says, can we get the list on the BBD page? You know, you cannot, but since you mentioned that, we'll make sure that happens. We'll put it on the BBD radio show page. We will put this list of foods that you can eat. Now, on this list, if you notice, all of these foods are alive.
Yes.
There's nothing processed on here. All alive.
Yes.
I want to touch on onions. Onions was one I had to grow into. I don't like onions. I didn't like onions. It's different now. When I first learned about onions, I was so disappointed. Like, I was hoping that was the one food that wasn't going to be on this list, right? But not only is onions on the list, onions is a superfood. Like, these are all superfoods. But onions, like, onions is a superfood. I did not know that. Like, onions are real gangster when they go inside your body.
Right.
I did not know that. Raw onions, and you can eat them cooked too, but if you want the best results, you'll eat them raw. Raw onions go inside your body and seek out toxins and take them to war.
Yes.
They on some gangster shit. Onions and mushrooms go in your body and look for cancer. They look for plaque buildup. They look for bacteria. And they straight gang up on it and take it to war. I did not know that. Onions alone are like a super food for preventing cancer.
Wow.
Man, I'm eating raw onions every day. I can't get enough of them.
That was a big one. Onions was a big one for me too.
Onions, I did not know. If y'all don't know, look up onions. The red onions in particular, superfood. Next superfood, mushrooms. Mushrooms are just like onions. They're gangster. That's why they in the G-bombs. So when you put mushrooms and onions in your body, a cooked mushroom with some raw onions, you just sit in the task force. The task force is going in to attack the toxins. I did not know that. The next one I want to speak on is beans. Now, this one took me for a loop.
Okay.
The only beans I'm really familiar with that I can say I ate a lot of is the so-called pork and beans, you know, minus the pork, right? So I think those beans overall are navy beans.
Okay.
Ate a lot of them. Every now and then, you know, your grandmother and them cook some black-eyed peas. Cool, right? Lima beans every now and then. But all these beans are good for us, right? Now, the thing with beans, people tend to stay away from beans because they can get you gassy. It's very true. But the reason why we get gassy from beans is because we don't eat enough of them. So our intestines does not have the enzymes that are needed to produce and break down and digest beans. But the more beans that you eat, your intestines begins to build up that enzyme. So if you start eating beans every week, after a period of time, you won't get gas from them no more. Now, the thing about beans is they're very slow processing. So our parents were on point when they said, eat something, stick to your ribs, eat some oatmeal, eat some beans. They were on point with that. Beans process very slow, and they're completely healthy. Like, they provide your body with more things that I could mention on this show. Again, I did not know this about beans, right? Beans are a superfood. Now, they've done clinical studies in parts of the world that are known as more like third world countries, where beans is the main staple of food. Those people never experience cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart attack, and they have proven it's because the staple of their diet is beans. I went out and bought all kinds of beans. I bought navy beans, black beans, white beans, lima beans, kidney beans. I bought them all. Now I just got to figure out how I'm going to be cooking with them. But again, this knowledge, you know, like, I'm so thankful for, you know, Dr. Joe Fuhrman, the Minister of Wellness. Now, when I first seen Dr. Joe Fuhrman, I caught him on PBS.
Okay.
See, I'm one of them dudes. I watch PBS from time to time, right? Remember that public broadcasting system? Like, nobody watches that. So I seen Dr. Fuhrman on that, and that was probably over 10 years ago. And he was explaining how he's paying for this out of his pocket because primetime television was not going to let him on. Okay, so since then, he has grown a little bit more. You can kind of find him on YouTube. And then we have other people who have studied his work and come forward. Now, when you're looking at somebody like the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan, he has studied Dr. Fuhrman as well as Dr. Sebi. You know, we did a show on Dr. Sebi. Maybe we'll do another one to refresh everybody. So Dr. Sebi was along these same lines. Dr. Sebi taught the body only suffers from one disease. That is the compromising of the mucous membrane. So all diseases deal with excess mucus in your body. Wherever that mucus is at is what determines the disease. So if it's in your heart, you get cardiovascular disease, right? Hypertension, high blood pressure. If it's on your brain, you get Alzheimer's disease. If the mucus is in your joints, you get arthritis. So when Dr. Sebi cured people of diseases, all he did was recognize that disease only survives in an acidic body. He switched people's bodies from being acidic to alkaline by stopping them from eating processed foods, fast foods, oily foods, enriched white flour. The body becomes alkaline and no longer acidic. Disease cannot flourish within the alkaline system. So this is how he cured people of AIDS, HIV, herpes, diabetes, lupus, everything under the sun. He got rid of it. So this is where all this is coming from.
Right.
So these are things that we have to learn. I'll read a couple comments here. Tony May says, yes, sir, I'm doing my research on them. Absolutely, brother, and that's what we encourage. Do the research, save yourself, save your family, save, you know what I mean, your friends, whoever you feel you want to share this information with. Ms. Johnson says 16 bean soup is really good and easy to make. Thank you very much. I am going to look into that because if I can get 16 of them in one soup, I'm going to feel like a Superman. You know, I'm definitely going to look into that. Miss D. Brown says, Brother Mike, beans are very affordable and they stretch. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. See, we grew up eating beans. Black people poor. You know what I mean? Your parents would feed you some beans. And we thought that mess was garbage. You know, and for the parents, they just knew it was decent for you. They didn't even know how good it was for you. But like she said, they knew it was stretch. You know, these beans are affordable. You know what I mean? They stretch. So just imagine how they got us out here eating all this other stuff. And then the stuff that we should be eating, we're not paying no attention to it. So I'm going to go over this list for you guys one more time. So this is the top 25 foods that are known as superfoods. Any type of greens. Collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, right? Now, we do greens. We do greens.
Yes.
But we mess them up. Because we throw a bunch of salt in them. We throw pork in them. You understand what I'm saying? And though it is delicious, but that is us messing up the greens. So you can't eat the greens and then throw a bunch of salt and pork in it. You got to figure out another way to do it. I prefer my greens made with the smoked turkey legs.
Okay.
That's nice. That gives it flavor without you having to add a bunch of salt, so forth and so on. So any type of greens. Kale. I personally eat kale every day. I have kale in my smoothie, and then I have kale in my super salad. I make a super salad, right? And I make a bowl of it. And I try my best to eat out of it throughout the week. Because according to Dr. Joe Fuhrman, one of the keys to the Nutritarian diet lifestyle, you have to remember this phrase. I literally had to write it, and I'm supposed to put it on my refrigerator.
Okay.
Salad is the main dish.
Okay.
That's tough. That's tough. You know what I mean? Because again, it goes into what we've been taught. See, we think we eat a big breakfast to make it through the day, eat a light lunch, and then we can eat a heavier dinner. That's completely wrong.
Right.
That's standard American diet. That's what they taught us. You should eat a light breakfast. Your biggest meal of the day should be your lunch.
Right.
Lunch is the meal that you're going to burn off through the rest of the day.
Right.
You need the energy coming through lunch. So your large meal should be lunch. And then dinner should be a lighter, more sensible meal because your body's at rest, you're laying down, you're going to bed. The food's just going to rot inside your stomach. So you want that to be a minimum amount. So salad is the main dish. So I'll tell you about my super salad. So in my super salad, I chop up kale, spinach, green leafy spring mix. That's got the arugula in it, right? I do a romaine mix, and then I put fresh bok choy that I chop up in it. So as you can see, I got 4 or 5 different greens right there, right? Then I add grape tomatoes, cut them in half, throw them in. I put in 1 whole large red onion. I put walnuts in it, and then a few cranberries, and some cucumber. And that salad is a superfood salad. It's got 4 or 5 different greens in it. It's got the walnuts in it to represent the seeds. It's got the cranberries in it to represent the fruit. And all the rest are superfoods. The onions, the other greens, the spinach, so forth and so on. So I make a big bowl of it. And then I try to have a smoothie for breakfast.
Right.
And then I try to have a big bowl of that salad for lunch.
Okay.
Then I try to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner. You know, now I'm not always good about this. Some days I miss that salad and go get something else, right? But even if I go get something else, I still try to make it along the lines of being healthy. You know, like we might go to Water for Chocolate, you know what I mean, and get a bite to eat. So anyway, so kale, watercress, Swiss chard, bok choy, which I just mentioned, cabbage of all varieties. So I'll tell my little cabbage mix.
Okay.
This is what I do with cabbage. I take 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, chop that up, chop up some either onions or scallions. I put that in the pan with a minute amount of olive oil. I let that cook a little bit, and then I add in kale, chopped kale, and cabbage. And then I add in mushrooms. And I let all that simmer down with a lid on it. And then I can eat that with wild rice. Wild rice is the only rice that's good for you. I know they taught us different. They taught us that white rice is okay, brown rice is better. But both of those rices are hybrid rices. They are not the natural rice that we as African people taught the Chinese about. Understand that. Asians get credit for rice? No, they learned that from black people. We taught them how to make rice crafts. You know, what did Paul Mooney say? We taught them how to make rice, and they didn't know how to pick it up, so we threw sticks at them, and the rest is history. That was Paul Mooney. You get he's talking about chopsticks. Like we threw sticks at him. Right? So anyway, rice comes from us, right? So the only real rice is wild rice. If you go to the grocery store and try to find wild rice, you're probably not going to find it. Because again, the powers that be know what's healthy and what isn't. So they make sure wild rice is a little difficult to find. Now what you will find, of course, is regular rice, white rice, brown rice, yellow rice, Mexican rice, rice-a-roni. You know, you'll find all this stuff. Wild rice, won't find that. You'll find a blend. So they got rices out here called wild rice blend. But you got to look at that bottom word. It's a blend, which means it's got a little bit of wild rice in it, but the rest of it is brown and white. You know, so try to find wild rice.
A dot of wild rice.
I found a box of wild rice, and they wanted $7 for 8 ounces of it. Right below it was brown rice, and you get a 3-pound bag for $2.89. So that goes to show you that they know what this is about. So seek out wild rice. That is the only rice that is alkaline. That is electric food, live food.
You know what surprised me the most about the wild rice? It was all black. When I first seen it.
I'm about to tell y'all something.
I first seen it.
I'm trying to tell you.
What in the world is this?
People wouldn't believe the extent that these people have went through to make black look bad. My best example is vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream is black. I know everybody knows it to be white, but vanilla ice cream is black. The vanilla bean is black. It originally started off as black ice cream. Go talk to your great-grandmothers and people like that. Vanilla ice cream was black. But these racist people that sit at the top, because vanilla ice cream tasted so good, they refused to let it be something that was black. So they literally changed the color of vanilla ice cream from black to white so that it would not represent something good for blacks. You know what I'm saying? White people could not handle eating something black that tasted so well. So they literally flipped the script. So when you use the word vanilla, vanilla actually means black. They ain't gonna put that in their dictionaries, but vanilla bean is black. Another one of their many tricks. You understand me? Thank you, brother. Thank you, Miss D. Brown. I tried to put it out there. She said, come on, brother Mike, you teach it. Yeah, they switched it up. You know, this is how sinister they are. All right, so I'll keep reading here. So we got cabbage, we got spinach, we got arugula, lettuce, any type of lettuce other than iceberg. Boston, romaine, green leaf, spring mix, all good. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are not bad. I had Brussels sprouts as an adult because I hadn't had none since I've been younger. I was like, this is not that bad. Why did I hate these so much? I think they taught us to hate them. Think about how kids hate vegetables. Why is that?
Yeah.
Right, because this is a society that teaches you to hate the foods that's going to keep you healthy. Broccoli, cauliflower, bell peppers, red, green, yellow, orange, mushrooms, tomatoes, berries of all varieties, asparagus, pomegranates, grapes, cantaloupe, onions, beans of all variety, and seeds. Let's talk about the seeds.
Okay.
Flax, hemp, chia, sesame, pumpkin, and sunflower. This is how I get my seeds in me. I buy a bag of milled. Milled just basically means crushed, broken. I buy a bag of milled chia and flax seeds. I get mine from Wegmans. And then I also buy a bag of hemp seeds.
Okay.
I put those in my smoothie.
Okay.
So in my smoothie, I put a tablespoon of the crushed flax and hemp seeds, and then about half a tablespoon of the I put a tablespoon of the crushed flax and chia, and then half a tablespoon of the hemp seeds.
Okay.
In with the smoothie. You don't even taste it, but you're getting those seeds in you. Because other than that, as far as seeds, black people, we eat sunflower seeds. So that's a seed. That's good. That's a good thing. But I can't think of any other seeds that we really eat.
Pumpkin.
Do you think black people eat pumpkin seeds? Okay, all right.
We love pumpkin seeds.
All right, see, I didn't know that because I don't eat pumpkin seeds. So pumpkin seeds is another one. So yeah, so that's the list. And I will try to get that on the Black Bottom Man Radio Show page so that people can have access to it. Thank you, Mo. So you guys can have access to this list and know about these superfoods because these are the foods we want to eat every day. And the last one was nuts. It was on the next page. So all variety of nuts. I spoke about the walnuts that I put into my salad. If you guys don't know about walnuts, look them up. It's off the wall. No pun intended. Walnuts are seriously healthy. Walnuts is one of those nuts where if you eat a handful, half a handful a day, it changes things within your body.
Okay.
Cashews I use to make my natural dressing.
Okay.
Let me throw that part there. I almost forgot. When you get into making salad the main dish, the dressings can ruin everything. You cannot eat a salad and put ranch dressing on it. Italian, creamy Italian. All of these dressings are horrible. According to Dr. Joel Fuhrman, according to Dr. Joel Fuhrman, Dr. Fuhrman said if you make a salad and then you pour ranch dressing on it, you might as well just eat a hamburger because the ranch dressing contains such saturated fat and cholesterol that it defeats the purpose of eating the salad because it's oil-based. And he's trying to teach through a Nutritarian diet to get away from oil-based. So he has natural salad dressings that you can make. So I've made one. It's pretty good. It wasn't bad. So I'll tell you what it is. You take a cup of cashews and a half a cup of raisins. Soak them in water for 30 minutes. Throw them in a blender. Add in, I think it's half a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a quarter cup of balsamic vinegar, I believe. And I think that's it. And then you blend that up. And it makes a natural dressing because when you drink, right? When you eat dressings, they're oil-based. So Dr. Fuhrman is teaching how to make a dressing that is, the oil is based from the oil out of the nuts, which is an oil that your body can naturally process. If you took a nut and put it between the piece of paper and squeeze it together, the paper would have oil on it afterwards.
Right.
So he's using the cashews as not just taste, and then it's a nut, so it's good for you, but the actual oil from the cashew is mixing with the balsamic vinegar and the Dijon mustard, and that produces the dressing. And it was actually pretty good. So when I put that on my super salad, I literally ate a completely Nutritarian meal. From the salad dressing to the actual salad itself. Awesome. Stay with us. We up on the next break. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are talking the Nutritarian diet, saving lives today. That's what we're trying to do. Stay with us. Saving lives. So we'll go over the top Nutritarian principles.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. how it go. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. City, got my mind strong, take a time bomb. Fuck a pot, I'd rather pat the kitty. I don't want the city, don't call me Diddy. Yeah, I rap my city, way to show them something they ain't ready for. Nigga voice firm so you can't ignore it. Talking shit like I'm fixing toilets. Shag a rhythm, I can see me torn. Horn cuffs, shades on, shirt off, strapped up, Molly down, blowing strong, ride around. The demonstration hold 50 rounds, I'm a fool with it. Got ratchet niggas that's cool with it. You got a cold heart till that ooh hit it. Stop fucking with me, got my mind set, see my mind state is at a high rate. Next stop, Texaco, strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it go. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
That could be for patrons only.
Absolutely, I love it. All right. So welcome back, everybody. We are in the last segment of our show. Today's show was about the Nutritarian diet lifestyle. BBD radio show. We are trying to spread information that saves lives and improves the quality of life. We don't want to be sick. I don't want to be sick. I don't want you to be sick. I'm tired of us being sick. I'm offended to find out that we were sick by design. So I'm doing my best to try to redesign it and get some information to us where we ain't going to be sick. So before we wrap this up, let me go over a few of the top Nutritarian principles. Number one, your body's immune system needs the right food to allow it to work to its fullest potential. Prevent sickness, you got to provide your body with the right foods. Number two, prescription medication will not solve your health problems. It won't solve it. It's there to treat your symptoms, and it's going to give you side effects for other symptoms. And then they'll give you another pill for that. Number three, if you want to lose weight, don't diet. 99% of all weight loss or most popular diets is regained. While many diets produce some weight loss, they cannot be maintained and therefore the weight returns. The only proven strategy for permanent loss is to consume sufficient nutrients and fiber for a lifetime of excellent health. This strategy will reduce your cravings for junk food and curb the tendency to overeat. Then you will instinctively eat fewer calories without the food addictions and cravings that have sabotaged your attempts in the past. Number four, remember your G-bombs. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds, and nuts. Number five, watch the olive oil. I think that's important because they really do have us believing that cooking with olive oil and using olive oil is, you know, just such this healthier route.
Yes.
Okay, so Dr. Fuhrman explains that they're doing that to you because it's a little bit better than canola oil, vegetable oil. He's like, what they're not telling you is it's still hurting you. So a vegetable oil hurts you at a level of a 10. Olive oil hurts you at a 7. He was like, but they're not going to tell you that. They're just going to make you think olive oil is much better. Yeah. He's like, it still hurts you. 1 tablespoon of olive oil has 120 calories. 1/4 cup has 500 calories. Health salads are definitely a way of life for people who want to lose weight or improve health. However, many of the benefits of the salad are lost when the calorie count is increased tenfold with oil. So that's what I was saying about the dressings. You got to make your own dressings. Flavored vinegars, fruit, nut, and seed-based dressings are the way to go. Nuts and seeds, not oil, have shown dramatic protection against heart disease. We need to get more of our fats from these wholesome foods and less from the processed formed oils.
Okay.
So buying salad dressing from the store is not your best result. I mean, if you're going to do that, try to get the most healthiest one, which is usually like the raspberry vinaigrettes or something like that. But Dr. Fuhrman is saying don't do none of that.
Okay.
Take the time out to make your own salad dressing. That way when you eat that salad, you know it's 100% Nutritarian, going to be healthy for you. Number 6, let your body decide. Nobody wants to hear that they have to let go of all their favorite foods like pizza and ice cream. But wouldn't it be nice if over time your body actually preferred healthier foods? The body can change its taste and food preferences. As you consume larger and larger portions of health-promoting foods, you appreciate the low-nutrient food decreased, and you gradually lose your addiction to sugar and fats. You learn to enjoy and prepare gourmet meals and that are nutrient-rich. When this occurs, you have become a Nutritarian. So yes, food addiction is what we're fighting against without us knowing it. We have food addiction. We're addicted to the processed foods. We're addicted to the sugar. We're addicted to the salt. We're addicted to the enriched, bleached white flour. We're addicted to the convenience of food, the convenience of pizza, the convenience of chicken nuggets, the convenience of hamburgers and hot dogs and cheese steaks. But this stuff is killing us. It's making us sick, and we want to put an end to it. I'll read a comment. Miss D. Brown says, as always, another wonderful show. Big ups to Brother Mike and Miss Janice. I shared today's BBD show to my page. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. We appreciate that, Miss Brown. Awesome for saying that and sitting in with us. We appreciate you 100%. Thank you very much. So let's see if I got another one here for us. No, that's the last one. The last one is let your body decide. So again, we're dealing with food addiction. We want to focus on having a Nutritarian diet. You can go on Amazon and find some of Dr. Fuhrman's books, like Eat to Live or the Nutritarian Handbook. Inside both of these books, he'll give you recipes and things you can do to work on your food addiction and get rid of it and become a Nutritarian and basically save yourself. Yes. Save yourself. So again, these are the type of shows we like to bring forward to try to help and not hurt.
Yes.
You know, we all have been subjected to the standard American diet. We all suffer from food addiction, but as black people, as you can see, it hurts us more than anyone else. Keep it in our neighborhoods. They keep us with easy access to it. We want to save our children. You don't want your children to be sick. You got to start teaching them better eating habits. The way you do that is first starting with yourself. Also, don't forget, I am rocking today for you guys our new BBD PK polos. You can get it at blackbytheman.com. We're taking pre-orders. They'll be shipped out within the first week of April at the latest. So make sure you go get a polo that you can wear and be proud of. Remember, Ralph Lauren made his to represent his lifestyle. Black by the Man, we made ours to represent your lifestyle. So make sure you check it out. Mr. Alicia Johnson says, please put this information on your Patreon page. The list would be great. Done deal. We are going to put this list of these superfoods on our Patreon page. Make sure you become a patron at patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD. You can donate as little as $1 per month, and you'll get access to a patron-only feed, which will contain this list of superfoods. Miss Janice, any closing words?
Great show today.
Great show?
Always
we think it was a great show. Hopefully you guys thought it was a great show. We try to bring forth things to keep you learning as we learn. So as usual, on behalf of the Black by the Man team, myself as the co-host and I'm not the co-host, I'm the host. I said co-host. My co-host, the lovely Miss Janice. I'm your host, Brother Mike. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. You know what's up. I'll catch you on the flip side, the black side. Peace.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org.